The conversation around the Mets offseason continues. On Friday, the team's general manager, Billy Epler, spoke to the media along with manager Buck Showalter. New York Post Mets beat reporter Mike Puma was there, of course, to ask the questions that Mets fans want answers to. And he joins me now. Mike, it's only been a couple days into the offseason, but it seems like things are still very active.
Things are active a little bit here, Dexter. I mean, Billy Epler yesterday, he admitted he's talked to Jacob deGrom already. That happened after Sunday night's loss, and they're kind of formulating plans here. It's still way very early. Once we get to that free agent signing period, though, is when it heats up after the World Series.
Oh, yeah, the hot stove will be hot indeed. Now, Mike, we've talked about all the free agents the Mets have this offseason, but is the plan to spend in free agency, and should fans expect to see the payroll higher than it was this past season?
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't expect to see it lower. Now, this year, it got up in the 290 to 300 range, depending on which numbers you look at. Steve Cohen has said, you should be able to win with the $300 million payroll. Now, if they want to bring the whole crew back, it's going to go above 300. You're talking closer to 340, 350 if you're bringing back Nimmo, deGrom, Edwin Diaz. Those are your three key guys, and then you have some big arbitration raises coming, and you have a bullpen to fill out. So, I would expect it maybe not to go up into that 340, 350 range where you have the whole gang back. But at the same time, I think it'll probably be a little bit higher than where it was this year.
All right, we can expect the price to go up at least a little bit. Now, the Mets, Mike, they were quite conservative at the trade deadline when they didn't give up any of their top 19 prospects. But in an effort to improve the roster, could we see a more aggressive approach on the trade market this offseason?
I think they still have to pick their spots a little bit. The farm system is gradually improving here, but they didn't make trade big splashes at the deadline for that reason. They're trying to hold on to their top prospects here, and I think it'll be more of an approach of what we saw last offseason when in spring training they went out traded for Chris Bassett. They gave up the Adam Oler, who was one of their top pitching prospects in the system at the time. But they can't go crazy. They're not going to be able to rebuild this team on trades. I think it's one of those deals. If there's somebody you really think that fits and you can do it without giving up too much in the farm system, you do it. But they really want to hold on to those top guys.
All right, we'll see what they do in terms of the trade market. Now, Epler used the word sustainability several times on Friday when it came to discussing team building. Can the Mets stay competitive, and as you just mentioned, and build a farm system? Can they do those two things at the same time?
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do here, and we saw them. It happened this year. They won 101 games using Steve Cohen's money, but eventually here they want to get this thing rolling where it's like the Dodgers, where it's like the Astros, where it's like some of these teams here that are just able to replenish from within, because you're going to have years where the free agent market there isn't a heck of a lot, and you're not able to build it. So it can be done. It's a tough line to walk, trying to compete and build at the same time. But I think the Mets showed this year that it's something that can be accomplished, and now they have to take it further.
Last thing, Mike, you said this at the top. Epler said that he had a conversation with ace pitcher Jacob deGrom after the team was eliminated from the playoffs. Do you think deGrom will return to the New York Mets?
If I had to handicap it right now, I'd say it's probably more likely he does return, just looking at a couple of factors here. One's the obvious, that the Mets are in the best position to pay him with Steve Cohen. The other is this is a team that just went to the playoffs. Jacob deGrom talks about wanting to pitch for a team that can win, that can go deep into the postseason. And this was one that got knocked out in the first round, but was certainly capable of going deeper. I think he likes his teammates. I think he likes the situation. Now, maybe somebody else comes along and just blows him away with an offer, and Steve Cohen says, you know what, I'm not going to go there. But as I sit here in mid-October, my thought is it's more likely he does return than he doesn't.
All right, that's what Mets fans want to hear. They want to hear more likely that he returns to the team, but it is mid-October. We know the hot stove will get hotter in November and as we head to December, and Mike Puma will be all on top of it for the New York Mets. He is a New York Post Mets beat reporter. Mike, thank you for your time. We will talk more throughout this offseason.
Thank you.